Hi, how's it going? This is Tom Greenwood. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about stuff that's on my mind, ideas that I have, and things that I've read and stuff like that. So I ran into a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and he told me that he really liked my videos and that my positive message and stuff like that, which is encouraging because I don't know if this stuff is really reaching people or not, except for the comments I get occasionally on my YouTube page. So that was encouraging, and it made me happy to know that this stuff is reaching people and it might be helping somebody out there. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, I've been thinking about our brains and our thoughts and things like that. So people often, so I don't know about in other countries, but it seems like in America that people are often separated in between. They see their bodies as separate from their minds, and their minds and their thoughts as separate from each other. And I think that that's a flaw in our understanding. Like somehow our bodies are these things that convey our heads around, and then our heads meet, and this, I don't know, ideas and discussion goes on. And I don't really think that's true. The body is an integrated system. The brain is connected to the body through the nerve endings. Those nerve endings send pulses out to the body and make it move. But the body sends information back. There's a nerve, I think it's called the vagus nerve, between the heart and the brain. There's two nerves, is my understanding. And the one that goes from the brain to the heart is smaller than the one from the heart to the brain. So what that's saying is that the heart is actually sending more information to the brain than the brain is sending out to the heart, which tells us that not only is our brain part of our body, but our body might actually be telling the brain what to do as much as the brain is telling the body. Anyway, there's people way more educated than me on that subject, and you can look into it into great detail if you want. Anyway, the body and the brain are one. The brain is part of the body. It's not independent of it. And the brain's goal is one is it subconsciously regulates the metabolism of the body and the functionings of the body in a way that our conscious part of our being doesn't even register. It's doing all this stuff like behind the curtain kind of. But then there's a whole lot of stuff that does go on. There's these cognizant thoughts, these conscious thoughts that we have that we engage in, and yeah, thoughts are things. In the not just in the metaphysical sense, like my thoughts exist somewhere in the clouds. No, there's actually a process that's going on inside of my brain right now when I'm talking to you. Different parts of my brain are responsible for different functions, different parts of thinking. My hearing and my speech, my vision are all in different parts. My brain processes these inputs, and there's also parts that are responsible for cognition and thinking in different parts of thinking, different ways of thinking. Some are more analytical, some are more abstract. But when you get down on a small enough level, there's molecules and energy impulses traveling around the brain to the different parts of it. And those molecules and those impulses are physically present in my brain. They're an actual thing. If enough of those get together in a certain way, the brain, that becomes a thought. And so in a very real way, the thought has a physical structure inside of my brain. What you're hearing right now has a physical structure inside of your brain that's actually going on. So, okay, cool, Tom. What's that got to do with anything? Well, our thoughts are physical structures, you know what I mean? So our thoughts also affect our brains. Like we have a thought and our brain reacts in a certain way. It has a feeling. And that feeling affects our body. You know, like when you feel something, when you feel scared, like you feel it in your body. You don't feel it between your ears. You feel it like in your chest or in your stomach, you know what I mean? Or when you feel excited, you might feel it in your hands or out in your limbs. That is that's very real, and that's part of the interconnectedness between our brain and our body. But these thoughts and these emotions actually have an impact on our body itself. When people feel happy, we can look at them and we see that they don't just feel happiness like here. that it expresses through their whole being. It's everywhere in them. And when they're sad or they're depressed, we see it in their body. It affects their body. When they're mad, you see it in their body. We can tell by looking at people how they're feeling and what they're thinking because it's expressed in their body. And it's very real. So your thoughts are very real in the sense that there's a physical structure in your brain that's actually making, or several that are making a thought come together. And it's sending an impulse out into your body. And your body is reacting a certain way, and that feeling is very real, and it makes your body very real. So thoughts are real inside our brains. They affect our bodies, other parts of our body, just as our bodies affect our thinking as they're connected. You know, if we are all hunched over, we can tell somebody's not feeling well. If you sit hunched over long enough, it'll actually affect the way you think and the way you feel in your body. But when you change your posture and stuff like that, it has actual effect on your brain, and it will affect your thinking, and it'll affect your emotions. So that wasn't exactly what I expected to get into in this video right now. I think the next one I'll do is I'll talk about how I don't know, we'll get to the next video when we get to the next video. I don't need to talk about that now. Anyway, so your thoughts are real. Your body's connected. Your brain and your body are one. There are different parts of your body, and your brain has a certain job. It creates thoughts, and it has emotions, and those affect the rest of your body just as the rest of your body affects your emotions and your thinking. So just by having a better posture and thinking happier thoughts, you can change the structure of your brain, the way it functions. You can change the structure of your body and the way it functions, and that's a pretty miraculous thing. You know, that's a really amazing thing, in my opinion, that we can change our bodies, structure and morphology, our brain morphology, by having better thoughts, by having better posture. So remember that your body is all one thing, and that it's not, no part of it's independent. Your thoughts aren't independent of your heart. They're integrated. And the more integrated I have become between my body and my emotions and my thoughts, the more whole I felt in life, and the more complete I felt when doing things, and I trust my intuition and my body when it tells me something. Most of the time. Sometimes it tells me I need to eat cookies for dinner, and that's not true. I don't need to eat cookies for dinner, but I certainly do like to have them. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying these videos. I'll put out another one soon where I talk about how thoughts are real and how those thought structures can affect the world. And if you like this stuff, you know, turn other people onto it. Send me a message through social media. Post on my YouTube page if it works for you, if it's helping you. If you want me to go into depth on anything that I've talked about, I'd be more than happy to. If you're around and you want to meet up and have coffee or dinner or milkshakes or walk in the park or just, you know, whatever, hit me up. I'm available. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.